What's up, guys? So there's this account that I've been a fan of for a while on Twitter, and it's at ScrubQuotesX, and basically what they do is repost quotes that are scrubby or from scrubs. They're generally fighting game related, but not necessarily. And I'm a fan of this account. I think it's really funny, so I thought what would be fun was I went through and I looked at the most liked, most retweeted, and just generally my favorite scrub quotes from this account. And we're going to count down the top 10 scrub quotes of all time. So just to be clear, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone just because they're bad or they're new to a game. Obviously, we were all new at some point, and I'm still bad at like every game that isn't a fighting game. There's nothing wrong with being bad. It's just that when your response to being bad or being new is not a healthy one. Like, a healthy one is when you go, like, okay, I suck, but I'm having fun anyway. Or being like, okay, I suck, but I'm just going to practice and get better. Or just being like, I suck, but this game's not for me, I'll play something else. Those are all fine. But when you go, okay, I suck, but actually I don't suck, it's the game that sucks. Or it's my opponent that sucks because, you know, they're playing unfairly or cheaply or whatever. That's when you become a scrub, okay? So I just want to be clear. Just if you're bad at games or you're new, there's totally nothing wrong with that. It's all about the attitude. Do you have a healthy attitude or an unhealthy attitude? That is what makes a scrub. The other disclaimer I want to lay down here is please do not search out these people. All the names and stuff are going to be blurred, but don't find these people and at them or harass them or whatever. That's not what this is for. We're just here to have fun and laugh, and it's not funny when you go out of your way to make someone's life unpleasant. So please don't do that. But with all that being said, let's get right into the list, starting at number 10. So right off the bat, I love that we're starting out with one that is not fighting game related whatsoever. Instead, this is a review of Ben Nevis, which I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's a mountain in Scotland, and this person was not satisfied with their experience. 1 out of 5 stars. This climb was a full day's climbing, and my girlfriend was crying at one point. When we did get to the top, there was nothing there. Mount Snowdon has a pub, restaurant, and toilets at the top. So it took a whole day. Take off 1 star for that. I couldn't even get beer when I got to the top. That's another star lost. Luckily, we brought some sandwiches and drinks, so anyone else climbing this one, be warned, there are no facilities at the top. No facilities spotted at the top of Ben Nevis. The climb basically went on for far too long, and the last part was particularly steep and difficult. It was also cloudy at the top, so the view was non-existent. The long walk back down was boring, and again, took too long. So listen, we'll take off another star because it was cloudy. I'm not sure how that's the mountain's fault. But a star off because there was no view, and another star off because once we got to the top, we realized we had to climb back down again. Terrible experience, didn't have any fun. So I was just curious, what happens if we just Google Ben Nevis? What is the first thing that comes up? Okay, so we've got, you know, it's a mountain in Scotland. It's the highest mountain in the British Isles. So that maybe should be a red flag that if you're just there for a casual day climb, this might not be where to look. How difficult is it to climb Ben Nevis? While it's definitely possible for an amateur to reach the summit, it is not to be underestimated. It's a difficult and dangerous climb that takes 4 hours to climb and 2 to 3 more hours to come back down. So be warned. Listen, 1 Google search could have saved this poor couple's entire climb if they had only known that it was going to be hard. Listen, I love it. That is pure distilled scrub quotes. It's not my fault for not doing my research. It's the mountain's fault for being too damn tall. Who made it that tall? All right, number 9, we got another one that is not gaming related. You'll love to see it. Oh, this is going to be a tough name for me. I'm sorry. Haijia Liu. I am very sorry if I mispronounced that. 1962. On the left, paints Van Gogh more skillfully than Van Gogh on the right. It should expose just how overrated Van Gogh is. Finally, someone puts this guy in his place. This one-eared guy thinks that he's the god painter. But listen, people are doing it better. Okay, obviously this one is stupid. I don't even think it needs to be said that, like, realism is not the only measure of skill when it comes to painting. Like, just because you can paint something that looks like a photograph doesn't mean you're more skilled than Van Gogh. Like, for example, we've got this painting, Ophelia, which is, like, really, really photorealistic. Like, This looks so lifelike and accurate. And this was painted before Van Gogh was even born. And then this dude, Vincent, comes along and he paints like this. I mean, listen, this doesn't even look lifelike. You can't even see the individual blades of grass. I'm not convinced at all that I'm looking at a photograph. Okay, obviously, Van Gogh is a great artist. This is not how art works. I feel like I shouldn't even have to say this. It's such a boomer opinion to be like, oh, my kid could paint that, you know? Like, everybody above the age of, like, 40 thinks that art peaked in, like, ancient Greece because their sculptures are really realistic. It's so cringy and boomery, and I feel like I don't even need to say it. So that's number 9. All right, coming in at number 8, we finally get to talk about gaming a little bit. Skill-based matchmaking is the dumbest thing ever. Okay, so obviously, I feel like for fighting games, this is a little bit ridiculous. For sure, obviously in fighting games, people want to fight people close to their skill. If you're fighting someone who's way worse than you, you never get better. If you're fighting someone who's way better than you, you just get destroyed and frustrated and don't want to keep playing, at least if you're a new player. So obviously this doesn't apply to fighting games, but what do you guys think about other genres? Do you think that there are some genres where there shouldn't be skill-based matchmaking? I might be stumbling into controversial territory here. I mean, I think anything competitive, obviously shooters, it's a competitive genre. It should be skill-based matchmaking too. But what do you guys think about a game like Fall Guys? Should Fall Guys have skill-based matchmaking? It's a tough question, I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. And the other thing is, like, should they prioritize connection quality over skill? Sometimes I feel like they should, especially in fighting games. So it's not cut. Okay, but listen, I am just gonna acknowledge that this is a scrub quote because clearly, I guarantee whoever wrote this, they're probably playing Fortnite and they're mad that they can't get all the sick Twitch clips by getting the free headshot no scopes on the scrubs or whatever. I've never played Fortnite. I don't know how the game works. But to me, this is an opinion you see commonly espoused by streamers and YouTube video makers because they want good content, and good content happens when you get to just walk all over your opponents and never get challenged. So to me, that's the impression I get. I'm going to brand it ba-boom, scrub quote. Let's move on. All right, we're finally... We're looking at some actual fighting games here. Street Fighter V. This game's actually fun. People just love to hate. Give it a chance. Okay, don't get too excited. This is not the scrub quote. Even though maybe I disagree with the characterization that everybody who speaks ill of a certain game is just because they like to hate. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do agree with this guy that, like, yes, lots of people find SF5 fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you like the game, just play it. If you don't like the game, there are maybe more productive things to do with your time than just getting arguments about it on the internet. Just play something else, whatever. But here comes the ultimate big brain. It's a fighting game. No skill required. Just mash buttons and win. Exciting. That's all it takes, guys. If you just mash buttons, you can beat tournament players. It's absolutely no problem. But here, a third poster has entered the ring. Wrong. LOL. And I mean, the ratios tell the story here. 75 likes, 1 reply. I wonder who the reply's from. I've beaten so many people at so many fighting games by just mashing buttons. There's no skill involved. You can know every move, but if I out-input you, I will win. Every time. It's not fun. Okay, so let's break this down. One thing I think is interesting is he seems to think that the skill test in fighting games is, do you know every move? That's how you become good, is by they know every move. I only know like 3 moves, so I'm not that good. Whereas my favorite player, Diego, he knows like 40 moves. So that's why he can win Evo, I guess. The thing that kills me about this is it's so easy to test. Like, you can just go online in any fighting game and you'll just get bodied by every player who's like silver rank or above if you're a noob. So it's not that hard to find out that your mashing is going to stop working. But maybe he thinks that, like, oh, they're just mashing better than me. The only reason I lost is because they mash way better. Because they have more experience. They know how to do it well. I don't know. It's just a theory. But obviously this one is scrubby. Nicely done. Let's move on. All right, number 6. We're starting off with a bang with just question marks. Huh? Huh? Can you please change the stage? It's so laggy. Okay, I'm not Not feeling like this is scrubby yet. I wonder what game this is. Do you think it's like Smash? Or do you think it's like Street Fighter 5? Kind of different stages notoriously could be laggy in that game, or in Dragon Ball FighterZ. You only won because I lost. This is where we hit pay dirt. You only won because I lost. I mean, this is honestly pretty pro. I might start pulling this one out in the next tournament I play. Once COVID's over, man. You only won because I lost, dude. I had that, but I lost, so you won. I don't know. I think this guy might be onto something. I think he might be a bit of a brain genius. I don't know. Is this even a scrub quote? It's just the truth. People hated him because he said the truth. Let's move on. Number 5. All right, so let's just assume that Mr. Crash Bandicoot here, this is Guy Who Lost, okay? We're just going to refer to him as Guy Who Lost. Why are you so insanely aggressive? Let's see what Guy Who Won has to say. Question mark? You never stopped offense. Why would I? See, that's a good question. If something's working, why would you stop doing it? Great question. Guy Who Lost says, never mind. That answered my question. You activated my trap card. I was ready for this one. Ever heard of neutral by chance? See, if you were a good player, you would let me get back to neutral. You would stop applying pressure and do me the solid of going back to neutral. So I have a chance to win neutral, and then I get to have pressure. I guess that's how Guy Who Lost thinks the game should be played. You understand the purpose of neutral, right? Okay, so the Guy Who Won, obviously he has a point. The point of neutral is to win neutral so that you can pressure the opponent and put them in a bad situation. That's the point of neutral, but I just gotta say, like, what do you gain from arguing with Guy Who Lost here? I feel like you're not gonna change his mind. He's mad. He just needs to expel some of the salt from his body, get the blood pressure down. You're not helping. In fact, you're just making it a little bit worse for yourself. You're wasting your own time. That time would be better spent like learning all the moves in a game so that you can win Evo, I guess. I don't know, but it's fine. He's correct. I just I don't necessarily think it's the best use of your time to argue with the scrubs, but let's move on. All right, number 4, GG's. I guess that's Guy Who Won. 'Cause usually the scrub is not the one saying GG's. He says Lucy GG's. Okay, I take it back. He's just telling his friend Lucy that those were GG's. Oh, lucky. Are you for real? Yes. Grab. I used like 3 grabs in a 5-0 set. I love how it's just like one word. Listen, yes, grab. I used 0 garb. Listen, I used 0 garb, making me the victor. Do you not understand the rules? Yeah, you also won 0 games. Y'all got him. Okay, I take it back. If you're bringing heat like this, feel free to argue with the scrubs, because that's funny. If you're actually funny, then that's fine. Well played. This time the Guy Who Won had the trap card, I guess. Nicely done. All right, next up we have a video scrub quote. It's like Jeopardy. We're going from text to video. Let's see how this one goes.
Next is easily understandable universal mechanics, including the abolishment of motion inputs. I've argued with people about this in the past, and quite frankly, I'm done being patient with this argument. Motion inputs are an ancient relic of fighting games, and they're just simply not needed for any balancing reason at all. It is completely lazy design to balance moves around difficult motion inputs. You would not argue for this in any other genre. I'm not even going to pretend that there's a reasonable argument for motion inputs as a base core design. The old Bilbsy would have spent time explaining why. I'm done with that because no one listens to those arguments anyway. Motion inputs are not good design. They are not the future of fighting games. Clip this, quote this, do whatever you want with this. I promise you, 20 years from now, we will not be talking about motion inputs because they will be gone.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I like the way he phrases it. He said, we're not just getting rid of motion inputs. We're not just taking them out of the games. We're abolishing them. The tyranny of quarter circle forward. It has to go. That's very intense language for what we're doing here. So obviously, I feel like people ganged up on this guy a lot, obviously, but you know, what's scrubbier than just being wrong but extremely confident? I think that's the thing that really puts this over the top. If someone believes that fighting games shouldn't have motion inputs anymore, they're totally fine to think that. That's their opinion and they're entitled to it. But to come at it from this perspective of, look, other people won't accept my argument because it's so obviously right. Do you know what I mean? Like, every aspect of how he's coming at this is like, I've already got this figured out. No one can say anything to me to change my mind. I already know this. Whatever you're about to say about how motion inputs, you know, they balance out the fact that a DP is powerful. It's balanced out by the fact that you have to stop blocking for a few frames to do it. This guy doesn't want to hear it. So, yeah, obviously I think this guy's wrong. I like plenty of games that have one-button specials, but I think there's still a place for games with regular special moves that you have to input. I think that's fine. And Core Gaming did a great video that I'm going to link in the description where he basically rebuts this guy a million times better than I ever possibly could. So be sure to check out that Core Gaming video, and let's move on to the next one. All right, this one is a reaction to Evo Moment number 37, the Daigo parry. We all know it. We all love it. You guys have all seen the video, so I'm not going to bother showing it. But actually, this is a response to the man Markman, who found old video footage that he took that has way higher quality and a better angle. It's pretty sick, and you can hear different voices in the crowd and stuff. You can hear what people were saying during this legendary moment. I'll link that down in the description too. Be sure to check that out. But one person is not satisfied with this important piece of fighting game history. I must be missing something in the crowd's hype, because this is the lamest way to play fighting games ever. So not is the Evo parry, the Daigo parry is not just like a hype moment. It's a play style, and it's the wrong play style. This guy's not a fan. I just see it all over. Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Everyone just plays the frame rate and counterattack game. So what do you think he means by the frame rate and counterattack? Like, he thinks that what people do is they just sit still, they wait for the opponent to do something, and then they just counter what they do. The reason why he thinks that this is how fighting games work is probably this is how he loses when he jumps online. He's like, I just keep pressing moves, and all they do is counter it, because he's doing Raw Ultra or whatever. But what does he mean by the frame rate? That I don't understand. Like, maybe he just hears the word frame thrown around in fighting games, so he thinks that he's saying something here. Facts you may need to hear. See, here we go again with the confidence. If you're going to have a scrub quote, you have to be really, really confident. Facts that you need to hear. You are not really playing Street Fighter. Fighting games are about fighting each other, not waiting for your opponent to make a technical error so you can use your internal knowledge of the game's internal systems to punish them. All right, we've got internal squared. I also like how he spells Street Fighter as one word, because he's the arbiter of what is and isn't Street Fighter, all one word. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself, just to cap it off. So this one is so weird, because it's just like, even if you don't know anything about Street Fighter, how can you watch Evo Moment 37 and not get that it's hype? Like, even if you have no idea what's going on, like, everyone gets excited, so clearly it's like, oh, that must have been really hard to do. But to this guy, he's not impressed. He's seen it all before. All the people do is they just wait and punish. That's all. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just the perfect combination of unearned confidence, not understanding what he's talking about, and then an extreme amount of judgment to all the people who are actually enjoying the hype fighting game moments. Nicely played, sir. Alright, and now we have the grand finale, number 1 on the list. This is another video. Let's hear what this guy has to say.
Alright guys, watch this. This is the reason why I stopped playing video games right here.
Okay.
People, like, this game has been out for like, what, a week? Just 1 week, and people are this try hard at a party game. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, why are you doing this to everybody else? People don't learn how to go pro in a game in 1 week, but yet you guys are out here like winning every single, like, it just doesn't make sense, man. You lose the fun in the game once you turn everything so competitive. Like, sometimes people just want to hop on, have a good time with their friends, play around, but next thing they know, they see sweats like this guy, right? Like winning every single game he plays, and then the game just becomes unfun after like 5 days. That's why no one plays Fortnite anymore. People are starting to lose fun in Warzone. Like it's
Okay, so there's a lot that I like about this clip. There's a lot that I like about it. First of all, the guy talking, he is not just giving up on Fall Guys. He's not just giving up on, like, you know, I'm done with Battle Royale games. That's not what he's saying. I'm done with video games. This is why I stopped playing video games. Even Mario and Zelda. He's done because the speedrunners, the sweats. I don't know, man. I found that really funny. It's interesting that we brought up Fall Guys earlier with the skill-based matchmaking argument. I mean, it's a little bit crazy. He said this is why people lose interest with these games after like 5 days. When did Fall Guys come out? Okay, I looked it up. Fall Guys, it went free to play on PS Plus on August 4th, and that's kind of when I felt like the the hype for the game really picked up and all the streamers started playing it. So that's over a month ago. And the game's still going pretty strong, I must say. Not everybody has lost interest in it like this guy has. Like, if we just pull up Twitch and sort by category here, you know, it's getting killed by just chatting. Turns out socializing still might have a slight edge, but Fall Guy's still doing pretty good, just outside the top 5. And he shouted out Fortnite. No one plays Fortnite anymore. Dead game. And people are losing the fun in Warzone as well. So I guess that these games that people love to play and love to watch, people are secretly losing interest in just because the thought of someone practicing and trying to get good is so enraging to them. So yeah, that's number 1. I think that's the Scrubquotes X most popular tweet is the video of that guy. I guess the Fall Guys hype maybe contributed to that. People were really excited for a spicy hot take when it comes to Fall Guys. But so, I mean, I guess all I can think here is like, okay, so it really, really bothers some people that people practice and try hard and get good because and then win. So like, why does it upset you so much that people are doing this? And I guess it's because they can't win if the sweaties are winning everything, right? Like, why else would it bother you that the sweaties are winning, other than like the only way that you can have fun is by winning? Do you see? You're basically, what you're saying here is that the game's not fun because I don't have a chance, because I can't win. And if you only care about winning, you kind of sound like a sweaty to me. That's all I'm saying. Simultaneously scrubby and sweaty. When you're mad that other people are actually practicing and getting better and you can't win, that's what really bugs you. I don't know. Just a thought. But anyway, that's going to be it for the list, guys. Once again, be sure to follow Scrubquotes X on Twitter, and you'll get a bunch of amazing quotes like this put onto your timeline every single day. So thank you to them for assembling such a great selection of tweets for me to make this list out of. And thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you would like to see more sort of meta content like this in the future. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.